I have been a subscriber to I've been Preach probably for like, I want to say almost 2 years now. And I have never seen so many women in the comment section. And the reason why is because I've been Preach, they are caping, simping, pandering super hard right now. Simp! 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 It's your boy Dano back again with another reaction video, and it is glorious. It is glorious indeed, friends. I appreciate you all coming back out here again to join me for another reaction video. Salutes to you guys, and yeah, without further ado, let's jump into this video. Let's go. So welcome to this video. This is another video dealing with the situation with the brother Aaron Sloan. I did not intend on making this video. I happened to watch Abbas and Preach's one of their latest videos about Aaron. So I was like, okay, let me check this video out and let me react to it. Now, I do want to say this, this video, along with other videos dealing with this situation, just all these videos, all my videos in general, are really just videos of my opinion. I'm not saying that any of this is fact. All I'm doing is going with the information that has been presented. I intentionally held off on making more videos about Aaron Sloan until I started to see more receipts. Why? Because we see the whole debacle with MTR, and even right now with the Queen of Accountability. And I even believe the same thing with Abba and Preach. Now, I did unsubscribe to Abba and Preach, and I'm going to stay unsubscribed to them for a while, maybe forever. I don't know. And there's others who feel the same. You can look in the comment section, but I have been a subscriber to Abba and Preach probably for like, I want to say almost 2 years now. And I have never seen so many women in the comment section. And the reason why is because Abba and Preach, they are caping, simping, pandering super hard right now. Simp! 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 And they're talking about men being emotional, just like women. And the thing is that men are not as emotional as women. Yes, men can be emotional too. We're not going to sit here and pretend like men don't have emotions. But men are mostly logical creatures than they are emotional. Yes, us men, we get in our feelings too. We're human. God gave us emotions for a reason. I do want to say this about Abba and Preach. I don't hate them brothers, man. But I don't feel like they're being fair. That's the main issue that I have with them right now. And it's the same thing with the Queen of Accountability. I think I said in another video, I don't hate Queen of Accountability. I do feel like she needs to get her shit together. She's up here lying and just putting out false information that Aaron disproved on his second interview with Kites. If you guys have not seen that video, go and check that out, because I may do an edit of their video and upload it, and then maybe even do a reaction to it. I don't know. Especially like the critical parts of the interview where he's just like dropping receipts and disproving everything that she's saying, or most of the stuff that she's saying. And it's so funny because with Abba and Preach being such a big YouTube channel, you would think that they would be in the know about some of these things, but they literally dropped this video. I want to say, let me see how long ago they dropped this video. Actually, I'm not even sure. They dropped this video, let me see, 17 hours ago. They dropped this video 17 hours ago. I don't know if you guys can, y'all can't see it. It's out of view of what I have set up, but yeah, they dropped this 17 hours ago. And mind you, the video with Aaron and Kites, their second interview, they dropped it like almost 3 days ago now. I think they dropped it maybe Tuesday of this week. Yeah, because today is Saturday. Tuesday of this week, I believe they dropped that video, which means that they could have done their due diligence by finding that video. Now, granted, Kites' channel is not as big as Abba and Preach, not as big as MTR, not as big as even, I believe, Queen of Accountability. No, they may be bigger than hers, right? But since MTR plugged Queen of Accountability, it brought a lot of attention to her channel. So, you know, I can understand that maybe Abba and Preach may not be aware of this second interview. However, MTR did mention their channel in like one of his previous videos before he got an interview with Aaron. So anyways, I just feel like this whole situation is messy. And like I said, I feel like this is the public lynching of a black man. And most of these people like Abba and Preach, MTR, it seems like they don't care. They don't care that this man's life is being ruined. Now, no one, even including Aaron, are saying that he is a perfect human being. We're not perfect. All of us have different life stories, different experiences, and that forms us and mold us. But just because we have had terrible past does not mean that we cannot elevate and become better people. I believe that everyone deserves a second chance, a third chance, even a fourth chance. You know, I'm a person who reads the Bible and I believe in the Bible. And what the scripture says, and I'm paraphrasing, is that, you know, I believe it was Peter who asked Christ. He said, how many times shall I forgive a brother if he, you know, essentially sinned against me? He said seven times seven, which essentially he says, if someone comes to you and asks for forgiveness, you forgive them, no matter how many times they mess up. Now, I know that everybody doesn't adhere to that ideology, but I do. My thing is, Aaron's not perfect. He's never said that he was perfect. He even said that he was a bad man. He has said that multiple times. I believe even in NTR's interview and also in the Kite's interview, he said that he was a bad man. He's a hard lover, right? He has done bad things in those relationships. He's never strayed away from that type of information. Yet you have people like Queen of Accountability and Abba and Preach coming out very hard against him, as if he's saying he's just this well put together man who has no criminal history. So that's the issue that I'm having. They're not being fair. Aaron has admitted to these crimes that he has done in the past. Literally in this video with Abba and Preach, they're pulling up receipts that Queen of Accountability has pulled up about his criminal past back in 2017. You know, him having arguments and you know, using how can I say, like threatening tactics against his ex and stuff like that. Yeah, people do weird shit like that, right? Do I approve of that? Hell no. But we have all done things that we are not proud of, and I don't think that's what Abba and Preach are getting. Look, Abba and Preach are acting as if they are these perfect people. Now, wouldn't it be ironic if a year or two something comes out about them? Now, if that were to happen, are we supposed to show them the same grace they're showing this man? Are we supposed to hang them by their heels because of something they may have done in their past? No, that's that cancel culture. That's cancel culture, and is not a good culture at all. Now, it seems like Aaron is trying to turn his life around. You know, he may have sent some crazy text a year or two ago, whatever, but it seems like he's trying to turn his life around. That's probably why he was on the balloon show, because he felt like he was in a point of his life to where he has done a 180 from his previous life to where now he feels like he is in a good mental space to move forward, to find a potential wife, to have a family. So I've done a lot of talking, and without further ado, let's get into this video.
And you press the record button and just threw it back. Is it true that you put a smartphone in the car and you press the record button and just threw it back in there?
No.
Okay, blatantly.
Yes, she's making that up. Okay. Man, I don't know how to answer this, honestly. I don't know how to answer.
So she's not lying. There was a phone in the car.
But honestly, yes, if it's not.
So do y'all see the edits that they're doing? They're cutting these videos in a way to paint a narrative, because the question was from NTR is, did you put a phone in the car and push the record button? They cut that video in such a way to make it seem like in a roundabout way he said yes. No, if you actually watch the full interview with MTR, he admits that there was a phone in the car that had a tracking setting on it. All of our phones have tracking settings. Hell, even my watch has a tracking setting on it. Usually when you install like an app or when you get the phone, you know, they ask you if you want to turn on those tracking locations. And I believe anybody in the 21st century would turn on those locations. Why? Not necessarily believing that you're going to be tracked or you're going to track someone, but just in case if you lose your phone or if you lose your smartwatch, you will be able to recover it. Any device that I have that has tracking locations on it, I turn it on. Why? So that I can find it if I were to lose it. It's smart, right? So yeah, he had a phone in her car. Now, did he intentionally put it in there? We will never know. Now, that's an accusation that's out there that he intentionally put that phone with the tracking feature in there. All phones today have tracking features in it. That's how we find our phones when we lose them, when we misplace them, when we leave them at a counter at a grocery store. I shit you not. I went to a pilot last weekend with my wife and I. We went to go and buy some fireworks. And I literally left I kid you not, I left my phone on the coffee counter at a Pilot Flying J. And how I knew it was there was because I had tracking on my phone. So I'm able to track my phone to see where the location is live. So for him to have that on his phone, yeah, he admitted he could have just lied and said, no. But he was trying to explain it in such a way to where it would not make him look like a creep. I get it. He wants to tell you the truth. Yeah, my phone was in the car. Yeah, it had tracking on it, but I wasn't trying to track her. And by the way, she was cheating on me, but that's not why I put it in the car. I think people are faulting him because he cannot articulate himself the way he wants to. So we think that he's being sketchy. We think that he's not being forthcoming because he's like, no, he's trying to articulate himself. He cannot do it as well as other people can. So we can't fault him for that. We can't fault him. He's not saying that he's perfect, but I don't like the way that Abba and Preach are trying to spin the narrative. Is Aaron perfect? No. We know he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. But is he this monster? No. He seems to be human. He brought forth what Abba and Preach has to remember is that before these young ladies brought forth these receipts and before Daphne brought forth these receipts, he admitted to these things. He didn't go into detail about what he has done in his past, but he admitted that he was not the most savory person in his past. So when these receipts start coming forward about his arrest record, what he's been charged with, how much time he spent in prison, it's not surprising to me because he literally disclosed that information in MTR's interview. I mean, there's no wow factor to it. Let's get back into it.
Sound crazy then, man, whatever.
Why did we know in 2 minutes what it took y'all 2 to 3 weeks to figure out?
Was that
Aaron the plumber?
So what happened?
So we were right, and it only got worse from there. I mean, Aaron the plumber, if you don't remember, was on the balloon pop thing, and then afterwards claimed that a bunch of people called his job and got him fired. Turns out he can't prove that ever happened. Most people don't even know where he works, so they don't even know where to call to get him fired. He even claimed that there was 500 plus calls. Nobody's been able to really find his job properly. So
okay? So Abba and Preach are definitely out of touch. If they watched Kite's video, I will highly recommend anyone who is interested in this situation, go and check out Kite's channel. If I remember, I will try to leave the link in the description below. Go and check that out. Okay, so we're going to address what was just said. So yes, Aaron did not reveal the name of the business that he works for. Reason being is because from what he is saying, it has not been proven yet. But what he is saying is that there is severance pay involved and that he does not want to expose the name of the company because it could violate their terms for him to even get the severance pay. So this is why he has not exposed the name of the company that he works for. Also, when it comes to people allegedly calling his place of work over 500 times, he admitted that he exaggerated. We all exaggerate. I'll give you an example. You got salesmen who come to my house all the time. And I tell my wife about it, like, yo, man, these dudes came out here like 50 times today knocking on my door, when in reality, they only came out to my house probably like 3 times. We exaggerate all the time. Essentially, what he is saying is that they called his job enough to get him fired. Now, just because Daphne could not find his actual job, it doesn't mean that his ex-girlfriends or people who knew him didn't blow up the job location where he worked. Anyways, let's get back to this.
The idea that the internet found it, it's never leaked so far. And so there's been a lot of cast on that because he's been using that to promote his GoFundMe to get $15,000 to do humanitarian work. Truth is, he doesn't really have much of a
That's how you know he's been listening to Daphne, because Daphne also said 15,000, and when you look at it clearly, it's, what is it? I just saw it is $13,863, I think. That's closer to 14,000, not 15.
a track record doing any of that kind of stuff. So where is this all coming from? And then there was a post that came out that showed that he got mad because the GoFundMe got locked. And underneath the post, you know what it said?
What?
How they gonna hold my money? It's my birthday. Let me have a good time.
That's actually not what it says. Now, I saw this text in the previous video I just did. Actually, by the way, I actually have like several videos that I'm editing right now that I put on hold just to cover this situation. But yeah, it says black man can't celebrate his birthday now. How you gonna tell me how to spend my money? That has nothing to do with the GoFundMe. Wow. This is literally like cheating off the person who does not have the answer. Like, this is literally like being at school, cheating on the person who's failing in class. The person who's failing in class is Daphne, aka the queen of accountability. And the people who are cheating off that failure is Abba and Preach and MTR. Oh, and O'Shea Duke and everyone else who's going off the receipts of this woman. Daphne has been proven a liar. The evidence is out there. She literally said that he was a master plumber. He never said that. Then she said that he was not a plumber, yet she went and disproved herself after Kites. By the way, Kites dropped the second interview before she came out and exposed his ID, right? So she even disproved herself. But then she was like, oh, well, you know, he only had a license for a year, something to this effect, that he only had a license for a year. So he must have just only became a plumber. Yeah, you just said that he wasn't a plumber. He never said that he was a master plumber. He just said that he was a licensed plumber. Now, mind you, like I said, Abba and Preach made this video 17 hours ago. They could have easily did their research, their own research, not the research of the class failure, and found out that he actually is a plumber. He's a licensed plumber, and that a lot of this information is just wrong. But they're running with this narrative, and they're like a wrecking ball. They don't care what they're destroying. They're destroying this man's life. Does this man deserve to have his life ruined because of his past? No, he did the crime. He paid the time. I mean, I don't understand how these people don't understand how irrational they're behaving. It is crazy how they just don't care about this man's life. And yeah, I can understand him being a little emotional right now because these guys are literally ruining his life. Abba and Preach is not a small platform by any means. You have people of all race, backgrounds, religions who watch these guys. We know that people watch them all around the world, so that's a big platform. And for them to come at you so hard, you're going to have a bunch of people who are their fans that are going to be completely biased and believe everything Abba and Preach are saying. Don't believe me? Go and look at their comment section on this video. It is atrocious. None of these people have done any research. There are a few in there that are defending Aaron, saying, hey, you do know that there was a video dropped the other day disproving all the information that you guys are pulling up off of someone else's homework. Who did a poor job at doing that?
You ain't got the answers.
I don't know, man. I want to see Abba and Preach. I want to see an apology, honestly. That's what I want to see.
Good time.
No.
Oh, and by the way, today is June 29th. Okay, so this video may not be uploaded today. It may be uploaded later on this week or maybe like a week from now. So I'm just letting you know this is going based on what I'm seeing right now. Okay, let's continue.
Dead ass.
No.
Dead ass. He posted that. So he was gonna use the GoFundMe for his birthday. So when we saw this goofy ass asking for
No, he wasn't talking about the GoFundMe money. Now, he did mention how the money was locked, but what Daphne did, or what I'm alleging she did, is that she took both of the chats and probably spliced it together, or just locked it, you know, or maybe he was referring to, hey, the money is locked, and then he's saying, how you gonna tell him how to spend his money? He could be talking about two totally separate things, but it's just so funny how he literally just took that text out of context. Like, let's run it back.
And then there was a post that came out that showed that he got mad because GoFundMe got locked. And underneath the post, you know what it said?
What?
How they gonna hold my money? It's my birthday. Let me have a good time.
That's not what it said, Abba.
No.
Dead ass.
To show you that they're spinning a whole narrative.
No.
Dead ass. He posted that. So he was gonna use the GoFundMe for his birthday. So when we saw this goofy ass asking for, you know, money, even though he got 100K in the bank.
But one thing about me, I could pull 100,000 on the bank. Can you do the same?
And he was out here spending it in the club like a goofy. Turns out, oh, he wanted to use a GoFundMe for his birthday to be able to spend it like an idiot.
No, you're lying.
But it goes even worse because like people are like, why are you bringing up his criminal history?
He is lying.
First
He is lying.
off, I do think it's okay to judge people on their criminal history. That doesn't mean it's a final judgment, but I definitely think it factors in, especially if it's over a lengthy period of time. It shows me a lot of impulsivity. It shows me a lot of lack of control over yourself.
Now look how young Aaron looks. Now, I'm not saying that your criminal past don't mean anything, but if you have shown that you have changed over, you know, the past few years, whatever it may be, because I can tell you this, coming from the streets, I have seen people who have done complete 180s in a year. I was just speaking to a brother. Shout out to him. His name is Moses Maddox. Shout out to the brother. I met him yesterday. This brother came from the mean streets of Detroit. I did a little background research on him, and he even told me himself his story, some of his story, not his entire story. You got to check out his books, by the way. This brother had a terrible upbringing. I mean, someone in Moses' situation, you would never think that they would have made it at all. Yet he is here and he's a changed man. Am I going to judge him off of his past? Am I going to pull up all his past and be like, you know what? I can't trust you. I ain't going to deal with you because you were a shady person. You were a terrible person. No, I'm not. This man has done a 180 and now he's writing about his life. He's trying to help people. Same thing with Aaron. Last time Aaron was arrested for any crime, from what I see and from what other people have pulled up, is 2017, 7 years ago.
And it gets me things to be like big red flag. You know, he's already been found guilty of pandering, which is pimping.
2017.
In 2017, but racketeering essentially is the call. Charged with sex trafficking, all kinds of stuff. So this is what, 5-6 years ago? Quick little update.
Okay, well, let me hear his update.
Queen of Accountability, the YouTuber who did a live stream with 4 of his exes and did a deep dive research on this guy.
Yo, Abba, you slow for that, bro. I thought he was gonna say update because he's gonna say actually it's 7 years. Ain't 4 or 5 years ago, bro. His math ain't mathing. Look, I'm not great at math, but come on. I know that 2017, look, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Brother, come on. But you funny, bro.
If you watch a live stream, it's pretty intense. There's who did a...
Now, I did watch some of the live stream. It's super long. Now, in this live stream, she got in contact with the exes. I'm telling you. I'm thinking that Daphne and Abba and Preach are just doubling down on stupid, man. Especially Daphne. It is crazy. Like, I have never seen a person want to be right so bad that they lower themselves to such a level to where she's up here calling people out of their names. I mean, she's calling people stupid. She's literally calling people dumb, stupid, because they believe Aaron, or they believed Aaron. So people who no longer believe Aaron because of these false receipts that she brought and allegations. It's crazy though. I just thought about this. She's calling people idiots, calling people stupid for believing Aaron, Yet a lot of people have done the same thing that she's accusing other people of doing, which is believing someone without any proof. So she's calling people idiots for believing Aaron. Yet there are a plethora, Abba and Preach being one of them, MTR being another, O'Shea Duke being another, who believed her, and she didn't show not one receipt. You guys are coming after Aaron about receipts, yet y'all didn't require her to show any receipts. Now, she did drop some receipts about his criminal past just a few days ago, but when she originally had that, when she originally did that live with MTR, she didn't drop not a single receipt, at least that I seen. So it's weird. It's weird how she's calling people idiots for believing a person who didn't show receipts, yet a lot of people are going with what she's saying, and she didn't show receipts, and it turns out she's wrong. It's crazy. But now she's aware of the receipts that Aaron dropped to disprove all her claims. So now what she's doing, she's like, okay, well, since I can't disprove that he lied about these things, I'm just gonna attack his character. That's all she's doing right now. And to me, that's dangerous. I'm telling you, just like I said in my other video, if I was Aaron, I'm not giving any legal advice, but this can play out bad for her. If he really is serious and he gets him an attorney, and if all he has to do is just find an attorney, and if the attorney sees all this, man, that attorney gonna be salivating at it, because he's like, oh, we got enough. Oh yeah, we got enough to sue this woman. Ooh, man, look, sis, just be humble. If you are wrong, you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong and saying that you were wrong. That's how you be accountable, because I could be completely wrong about Aaron. But if that happens, I have no problem coming back saying, you know what, I was wrong. I have no issue saying that. But some people, they let their pride run before them. What does the Bible say? Pride goeth before the fall. So don't be so prideful to where you get yourself in a place to where it's going to cause you to lose everything. It's going to cause you to fall. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Sus, even though I'm coming against what you're saying right now, I don't hate you, and I don't want to see you lose your platform and become, and lose your credibility because you can't humble yourself. Just say, hey, he proved that he's a plumber. I said that he wasn't a plumber. He proved that he was. I said this and that about him. Okay, I was wrong. Still he had a past. We all have a path. We all have a past. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. But she's not doing that. She's like doubling down on stupid right now. And she's trying to make him out to be this monster. Let the man live. Now, if he commits some more crimes, okay, now we're like, okay, yeah, this man has not changed. But the crime she pulled up was like from 2017. And then they're showing text about him, coming after his ex's jobs, like a year, I think like over a year ago, right? That's fucked up. That's messed up that he would do something like that. I don't even want to know why he would do something like that. But that happened over a year ago. People can change within a year. And like I said before, like he said before, he never said he was perfect. He even admitted that he was a bad man. Anyways, where's the compassion?
Live stream with 4 of his exes and did a deep dive research on this guy. If you watch a live stream, it's pretty intense. There's accusations of rape, stalking, beatings, harassment, and they provide a lot of receipts. They provide police reports, they provide text messages, logs, all these different things that really solidify that this guy hasn't changed at all. He's still the same career criminal that he's always been. And I know some people try to accuse these women of clout chasing, but you have to understand, these women have been filing reports to the police over a year ago. How could they be clout chasing when these women have been filing reports to the police over a year ago? How could they be clout chasing when this guy had never even done the show at the time and it was known to nobody? There's no clout to be gained. Have you guys?
Yeah. So Abba is not looking at this correctly. There is clout to be gained. Okay, even though he has not become internet famous until now, they are still clout chasing. Even though these situations may have happened before he was famous, they're still clout chasing. Why? Because, and I'm not saying that they are clout chasing, but they could possibly be clout chasing. Why? Because now that he's famous, if they put their names out there, they can get some of that fame too, because now they're getting the attention of other people. Other people may want to interview them, do paid interviews, Who knows? You know, news channel may want to take him on. Maybe Lifetime will want to write their story. You know, maybe Stars or Netflix want to make a story off of that. There's potential money there now. So yeah, they could be clout chasing. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but there is potential for clout chasing. But bruh, come on, man. Do better. Do better.
Read the mess.
But see, that shows you that he's trying to paint a narrative. If his other statement about Aaron wanting to spend that GoFundMe money didn't show that he was spinning the narrative, I don't know what else would. Y'all are no better, man. That's sad. Y'all are no better than big media. No better.
You can see that he's trying to get her to respond to him and she's refusing. And after she doesn't respond to him for a while, what does he do? He makes a very peculiar threat. He says, I'm going to call FedEx every day and I'm going to get you fired. Isn't this the very thing that he claims was done to him?
Yeah, and it's not right. It's not right, but he never said that he was a perfect person.
Think about how twisted that is. You victimize someone in a very peculiar manner. Then you use that peculiar manner that you victimize in to make your own victim narrative. And you want to get sympathy for it. The reason why this gets more...
Right is right, wrong is wrong. He was wrong doing that to her, and the people who called his job were wrong for doing that. That's all it is. There's nothing more to it. Aaron was wrong for doing what he did, and the people who called his job were wrong for doing what they did. Doesn't mean that just because Aaron did that in the past means that he deserves to have that happen to him, or that he's a hypocrite. No, it's just not right. Yeah, he was fucked up for doing it. And he's fucked up, and they were fucked up for doing that to him. It's not the same thing as crying wolf. It's not. And that's what he's trying to paint right now, is that he's crying wolf. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's like this. Think about this. Abba, think about this. If I used to be a thief, and then say a year or two later, I get robbed, even though I changed my life or I turned my life around, and I get robbed by a thief, does that mean I deserve it? Even though I probably did time for stealing, I apologize to the person or whatnot. Even if I didn't apologize to the person, does that mean that now I deserve to be victimized? No. I'm sure Abba lied before, right? Does he deserve to be lied to all the time because he lied in the past? No, he doesn't. Same thing with Aaron. He may have threatened to call a woman's job to get her fired, which was wrong, by the way. But does he deserve to get fired from his job because people are calling his job? No. Come on, Abba, do better.
More intense is that a lot of the behaviors that he showed towards these women, he's now showing towards this YouTuber queen of accountability. What am I talking about? This guy had a pattern with all the women he dated. He would love bomb them. Within 3 to 4 weeks, he loved them.
For me, it's you talk about falling in love, but it was only a month. It sounded like 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's it.
You fall in love quick and hard, my G. Fall hard.
I do. That's my problem every time.
He needed to be around them all the time. They need to stay around him. And if he didn't get his way,
and I can tell you why. It sounds like from his childhood, he didn't get the attention he needed. So now he's trying to get that from his women. That can be dangerous because, you know, that's called having daddy issues. That's called having mommy issues. We know about that, where people don't get that attention because the absent mother, the absent father. So when they grow up, they have issues like that to where they're very possessive, or they have to be around their significant other 24/7 to get that attention they didn't get when they were younger, right? That's all that is. Now, that can lead to issues later on down the line because it makes a person very possessive. How do I know? I've seen this before. I've seen it. These type of situations happen many times before. You know, I really can't fault the brother for that, but if he's out here hurting people and putting his hands on people, that was wrong of him to do that, period. Period, okay? But he's never said that he was a perfect person. And I think that's what Abba, Preach, and many others are forgetting. He never said he was perfect. He says that he speaks to at youth risk to try to keep them from going down the same path that he went down because of his terrible upbringing. Guys, we have to put everything into context, man. We have to stop villainizing people. Are there things that he need to work on? Yeah, there are. Are there some responsibilities that he needs to step up to and be a man about? Yes, I'm sure. But to ruin this man's life doesn't make sense. If we want him to step up and be a father to his alleged child, how can we expect that to happen when we're completely taking the floor from up under him? It doesn't make sense, guys. Instead of coming against him, how about we find out what this brother's issues are, if he has some severe issues, and build him up to be a better man. You know, when I make these videos, when I come hard against people, you know, talking about these modern women and stuff like that, I come from a perspective of love, because I want to see our women do better. I want to see our young men do better. I want to see our people do better in general. I want to see society do better in general. That's why I criticize these things. I don't say it because I want to see people destroyed. I don't. Even though I'm against everything Daphne is doing right now, I don't want to see her destroyed. I want to see her do better. I want to see her be humble. I want to see her out here doing these things because she truly cares. Now, I know that she's essentially upset because she thinks he's scamming and she believes she's for the people. But how can you truly be for the people when you can destroy many lives in what you're doing right now when it comes to these lies and these accusations? Man, anyways.
The text messages went south very quickly and very aggressively. When he didn't get his way, he would call their jobs. He would harass them. He would file threats against them from a bunch of different anonymous numbers.
Now, mind you, all this is alleged. Now, there is proof that we just seen that he said that he would do it. He never said that. Well, we don't have any proof that he actually did that. Like, I would like to see proof of, like, maybe just her job saying like, yeah, we terminated you because of this person, or these people kept calling, or someone from her job. Now that could be hard. I mean, I'm going to consider what she says because, you know, there's proof showing that he allegedly wanted to do that, right? There's no proof of him doing it, but am I saying that that's acceptable? Hell no. No, not at all.
And you could tell it too is him because the grammar's really bad in all the text messages, and there's a lot of like repeated lines that seem very consistent. And now the Queen of Accountability is also being called from every direction possible and having herself being doxxed essentially through this process.
Yo, guys, y'all need to stop that shit, man. Stop it. Like, who spends their time doxing people? Like, leave her the fuck alone. I mean, leave her alone. What she's doing may not be right. You may not agree with it, but you do not need to expose her information. Let her live. Come on now. I mean, because you're essentially doing the same thing that people did to Aaron. Like, make that make sense. If you're for justice, if you're doing that because you think that's justice, it's not. It's not. You're literally being a hypocrite. You're literally doing the same thing that people did to Aaron. Stop it. Just stop it.
He pretends like he's somebody else in all these text messages, but he kind of lets it slip that it's actually him, Aaron the plumber, because he goes, I'm gonna take legal action if you don't issue a formal apology. Are you
okay? So this is the thing. Abba, come on, brother, come on. Abba, just like you have people out here doxing all the time, you also have people out here making fake accounts. He's even said this on Kite's interview that there are people out there making fake accounts pretending to be him. So come on, you do better. People have been making fake accounts since the beginning of Facebook. People have been making fake accounts since the beginning of YouTube. I've seen it. I've seen it many times before. I have another YouTube channel that's actually bigger than this YouTube channel, and people have literally come after me with several fake accounts, and they did bad at doing it too. That's how I found out. I'm like, wait, this is the same person. Yeah.
You're gonna sue on behalf of somebody else? And it's so crazy to me how many random dudes online want to run and go to bat for this dude, when everything in his history and the way he acts says he's a big ass pookie. He's the exact kind of man that women, you would criticize them for dating. If a woman chose this guy and dated him and then bad things happen, you'd be like, why don't you choose better? Why?
Yeah, he was a pookie. He was a pookie.
Why did you choose a pookie? And now you're getting mad at these same ladies for picking up on the fact that he was a pookie right away and trying to stay away from his ass. We picked up on it. I have never on this show ever looked at a man's behavior and been like, this is probably the kind of guy who beats women behind closed doors. Ever. Go look through the logs. Go find it. You won't find it. What is it about the way that he was behaving that you guys were so ready to endorse and say it's nothing wrong with it, it's actually fantastic, that we all looked at and be like, no, this dude is off his kilter and it's very likely that he'd be doing physical things to ladies behind closed door or other weird things? Where were your blind spots?
Y'all gotta be careful with that, man. Be careful, Abba. Be careful what y'all saying, man.
And this also goes for mediocre tutorials and reviews. Where were your blind spots? Why were you not able to see what we see within 2 seconds? That's a question that you guys are gonna have to ask yourselves, because while you guys are endorsing this man and giving him the A-OK and calling him some kind of war hero, behind closed door, dude was—
Okay, so Abba, I see Preach really ain't saying too much. Abba, now look, what men were supporting was the fact that he was standing up for himself. We weren't supporting his past. We weren't supporting anything other than what he did on the show. That's what we initially were supporting. Same thing with MTR. Men standing up for themselves. We weren't supporting anything else initially. Even if he was still currently a woman beater, that's not what we were supporting. We were supporting the fact that he stood up for himself as a man. I'm not a woman beater, but if I was in that show, I would have stood up for myself too. Maybe not conducted myself in the same manner or used the same words, but I would have stood up for myself. Him saying you are not qualified does not mean that he is a woman beater. It doesn't give you any signs of a woman beater. I mean, hell, you could have a slim 5'8" nerd go up to them and say you're not qualified. Does that mean that they're a woman beater? No. I will be in support of that guy. Hell, Abba, if you went up there and said that you're not qualified or defended yourself as a man, I will stand up with you also on that situation. It's really that simple. We weren't supporting this man saying, yeah, man, you know what you did in your criminal past. That's amazing. That's not what's going on here, brother. Trust me.
Was one of the worst predators. The dude admitted to stalking his ex.
Is it true that you put a smartphone in the car and you press the record button and just threw it back?
Okay, so here we go where they're spinning the narrative. Now, he did not admit that he was stalking his ex. If you watch the actual interview, he admitted that he left a phone in there. He admitted that he left his work phone in there. Now, it could have been by accident. It could have been intentional. Because hell, I leave my phone in my car. My wife will tell you, I leave my phone in the car. So I'm not good with phones. I'm not as bad as my sisters with phones, but I'm not good with phones. Anyways, get back to what Aaron was saying, is that he did leave a phone in there, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Yeah, he left his phone in there, and like all modern smartphones, they all have tracking features in it. That's all he said. He didn't say, yeah, you know what, I left my phone in there to track her and to record her voice and all that. No, he didn't admit to that. But see, the way they have this edited, it's going to have you believe that, which shows you that Abba and Priest are trying to push a narrative. They're trying to push a narrative. They need to do their homework. Do your homework, guys.
Back in there.
No.
Okay, blatantly. She's just making that up. At a book in there.
Yes, she's making that up.
Now, what he was saying that she was making it up was that he had intentionally put a phone in there and pushed the record button. That's what he was saying that she was making up. Okay.
Okay.
See, and I like what he's doing. I like what he's doing because he's actually taking his time to answer. Any attorney will tell you to do the same thing. Just don't blurt out anything. Take your time. Yes, people are going to perceive you as lying or taking time to craft a story, but he's just trying to get his facts straight. Sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes I'm like, wait, hold up. Let me think real quick. Because sometimes you want to get it straight before you just blurt anything out, and it can be detrimental to you, you know? So I don't know why, but see, of course, this is what gets views right here. How they spliced it together to make him look bad. It's sad. It really is sad.
Come on. Let's talk about it.
He took time to think about what he needs to say, and he even tells us why, because he's trying to say it. He's trying to tell the truth without it coming out sounding crazy, right?
I'm trying to see how I can answer this.
I'm trying to see how I can lie.
I did. I had a phone. Man, I don't know how to answer this. Honestly, I don't know how to answer this. But no, I didn't put no smartphone. I did have another iPhone that was in her car. I have 2 phones. Okay.
Aaron.
No,
I got 2 phones, one for the hoe and one for the hoe.
Let me break it down to you. I had 2 phones. One phone I do plumbing with, right? The other phone is my personal phone. I did leave the phone. I'm trying to answer this without sounding like a creep. So I'm trying to choose my words carefully, you know?
I did need, like, I got 2, like, you know, I got the, it's just, have you ever, like, if ever, did you ever have, like, if you ever have ever, like, have ever
I have to admit, Preach is funny though. I still think he is simp. But Preach is fucking hilarious. If you guys don't know what he's making reference to, I'm actually gonna put that splice in here right now.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
But anyways, Preach, he's fucking hilarious though.
have 2 phones that you phone with?
Carefully, you know, because
Okay.
they're gonna crucify me. So don't think nothing. But I had another phone. Okay, I did plumbing services with this phone. The location was on this phone. Now I'm in and out of her car all the time. I did know that the location was on the phone. Yeah, I always got location on both of my phones. But that's how I was finding out she was driving.
When I had 2 phones, I had an iPhone, by the way. I got rid of it. I don't like iPhones. But when I had 2 phones, I had tracking on both of them. Hell, I got tracking on my watch.
Around too, yeah.
So she's not lying. There was a phone in the car that tracked where she was.
The phone. That's why I was having a hard time answering this. She's trying to make it seem like I just got up, threw the phone. No, I had my tracker on. I had my GPS on there, and I remember we had an argument about me leaving the phone in there. Yes, with the GPS tracker on there.
So what he was saying is that, yes, they had an argument because she found a phone in his car and it had GPS tracking on it. Hell, I leave my phone in my wife's car and it has GPS tracking on it. Now, what he's trying to say is that, what I assume he's trying to say is that his girlfriend was upset because she thought that he was tracking her. He could have very well been tracking her. We don't know. But what he is saying is that, no, I just left the phone in there. It has GPS tracking. She was mad at me about it because she thought I was tracking her.
She said, yeah. And I lied. Okay, yes. Okay, I lied. I lied to her. I told her I did an airdrop, left the phone in there, but I didn't. I don't even know how to do an airdrop. But honestly, yes, the phone location, my location was.
Okay, I'm not gonna keep playing it. This dude lying through his teeth. This scammer, okay, this career criminal, this trafficker, that's what he's about. Let's be clear. This is the man you guys are defending. And it doesn't even end there. The dude tried to do revenge prawn against one of his exes when she wouldn't get back with him. So he was telling, and these are, you can look at the messages. This is not hearsay. This is the dude y'all defending. All this to say, I don't want to go through everything he's done. Obviously, he's garbage. The real thing that's interesting to me is, why were these men so fast to want to champion this guy when it was so obvious to so many other people that he was a giant pookie? You guys champion a man who's likely going to harm more women in the future. You want to give him access to funds to be able to attract more women, want to give him more publicity to be able to have more opportunities, not realizing you guys are essentially enabling a predator. Stalks his ladies, threatens them when they want to leave, put hands on something. Like, okay, what you want me to say? What you want me to say? It's not even about taking a victory lap. Like, it's not even just the viewers. This is the creators. Like, MTR, I like the dude, but it was plainly obvious to everybody, even the way you conducted the interviews. I'm gonna be honest, you were softballing it. When he was saying weird sus shit like this, like, to me, that's a big, big, huge red flag. What do you think about that?
I didn't understand the people defending it. Just if we go to the base of the video and what happened, it escalated very quickly. But the basis of the video was us watching a dating show. And if you look at the behavior on the dating show, I do not understand what you guys saw, well, didn't see. Nah, he did nothing wrong. Like, what is the state of the world?
Preach, I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. Honestly, I don't. But what we saw was a man defending himself. That's the only thing. We didn't even know his past at that point. We just only knew that he was a plumber. We didn't know his past. We weren't going off of his past. So what the hell are y'all talking about? And honestly, Preach, I don't even think he knew what the fuck he was talking about for that good 30 seconds. I think he was just lost. Are you high, bruh? Are you high? Yeah. Wow.
Or in what world do you live in that you saw nothing wrong in the interactions that you saw? Forget the...
Okay, so the women came at him. He defended himself. What's wrong with that? He didn't say anything about, oh, I'm gonna grape you, ho. I'm gonna do this and that to you. Now, if he said some shit like that, yeah, that'd be crazy. But he didn't. So I don't understand what's wrong with the interaction. Like, what was wrong with that? The initial footage that we seen of Aaron, you ain't qualified, queen. You know, you did me a favor. All of that. What was wrong with that? Like, I'm trying to understand, Preach. I'm trying to understand.
The rest. Forget the felon thing, the whatever. Forget all that. Just based on those interactions, you saw nothing wrong. Well, you got rejected from the ladies. That's why I see a problem that we have in society. Rejection is not inherent.
Bruh, I don't even think he knew where he was going with that. That point started here. It was supposed to go here, but it went like this.
Apparently a bad thing. It's just a neutral thing.
It's actually a good thing sometimes.
You take it as disrespect. When you say, oh, he got rejected by the ladies, you automatically go to disrespect. No, the girls just said no because this and that and that.
No, actually, they did not just say no. One chick was like, my eyes are up here. My eyes are up here. And then another chick was like, you know what? And I'm just paraphrasing. You know what? You came after them, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to come after you. You ain't that cute. You look like a Ninja Turtle. What do you mean? That's disrespect. Like, I mean, she came after him hard. I can understand why he was like, you ain't qualified, queen. I can understand that. It's not like he called them out of their names. It's not like he said that they were ugly. He told chick, he was like, look, you ain't qualified. If anything, it was these two over here. He didn't talk about her face because honestly, the girl in the blue dress, I didn't find her attractive at all. I thought I don't want to get into it. I didn't really find her attractive. That's all I'm going to say. And he didn't either, which is why he said, you know, if anything, it was them two over there. I wasn't even looking your way. He could have called her ugly. He could have said all types. He did not. He didn't. She went on to his physical features. He could have easily said something about her physical features, but he did not. He was reserved in that manner. So it's like, you guys are making it seem like he went super hard against those women. He did not. Y'all was making it seem like these women were just dainty, very feminine women who just said, no, thank you. And then he just, oh, you F&B, blah, blah, blah. That's not what happened, but that's what y'all guys are portraying it as. It's weird, bro. Y'all, the cape, man. I don't know. That cape, y'all got to do something with that cape. I'm trying to think. Have I ever seen a simp this hard before? Maybe. I don't know.
Well, you know what? If you feel that way, that's how you feel. Moving on. He felt some type of way. And I'm still standing on mine when he said, you definitely made me... That was off. Right from the jump. And then you accumulate the rest of the things. At the basis of what we saw. You saw that and...
Okay, I finally understood what he said. He said it weird, but he said, "You did me a favor." Right. You know, yeah. Did he have to say that? No, he didn't have to say that. But was it disrespectful? No. He just said, "You did me a favor." What he is saying is that you made it easy for him to not eliminate you, because remember, this is a show where they pop their balloons or he pops their balloons. So what he is probably saying is that you saved him probably the anxiety or the stress of having to pop your balloon. That's all. When you look at things from what could be full context, it makes things so much more clear. You did me a favor from having to do that anyways. Thank you.
You saw nothing wrong. I'm sorry to say that's a red flag on you. If you saw nothing wrong with the interaction that you saw there and you thought it was perfectly normal, there's something wrong with you.
No, I actually think that whole entire interaction was not normal. It's normal in certain sectors of society, but that entire interaction is not normal. The whole balloon video, the whole balloon channel dating, whatever, it is not normal. The whole balloon idea or concept in that channel is not normal. And that's what makes it so alluring, so attractive, right? It's because it's not normal. How often do men line up in a line and have one woman judge whether or not they want to be with those men? That's not normal. That's not a normal interaction just to begin with. Same thing with one man sitting there getting to choose women that he want to be with, or women choosing not to be with him. That's not normal at all. So yeah, I agree. That's not normal. And then the interaction, you know, with normal people, with them going back and forth with each other, that's not normal. But like I said, in certain sectors of America, it is. Honestly, someone who was never raised in the hood will probably look at that whole entire interaction between the ladies and him as being ghetto. I would really like to see her do all white women and a white man, or all white men and a white woman. I know she's catering to the black community because of course she's black herself. But yeah, I wonder how that would happen. I'm interested in seeing that.
Forget the rest. Forget the baby mamas, the dramas, the running from the police, the going inside. Forget all that. If just based on the whole interaction that you saw nothing, you're like, yep, then there's something wrong with you too. I'm going on you guys.
Yep.
You guys got problems and you got to search within. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you, but you got problems. You're not supposed to talk with people like that.
I don't even think they think that's normal. I think most of them essentially just resent a lot of the, you know, perceived privileges that women have. And so when they see this, they see some sense of justice. And so they're going to champion it, even if it is wrong. But essentially what they're championing is more of the same bad behavior that they're seeing on the opposite sex at times. And so they're just propagating the problem. You know, it's not progress that they're doing. It's just they want their get back. They want their sense of revenge, right? That they what is the word? What happens when you're experiencing something through someone else? Do you know the word?
He's talking about vicariously living. But anyways, there are some people out there who probably do come from that perspective, you know, but it's not me right here. And I feel like a lot of people who are supporting him from his initial reaction with the women, they just seen that those ladies, they came at him a certain way and he defended himself.
For that? Oh, vicariously. That's the word. They're vicariously, through these people on these shows, getting the justice that they don't have.
Sorry, he used that word in a weird way right there. But I get what he's saying. These men are vicariously living through his interaction, is what he is saying. And yeah, you know, I think that there are some men out there who are in a sensible perspective, and then in a non-sensible, maybe you do have guys out there who are terrible people who just hate women, and they're like, yeah, man, you know, yeah, this is some type of revenge for me. Who knows? But I don't think a bulk of the men out there are. So anyways, let's continue on.
They feel like in their own personal life, or they see that's lacking in the world. That's essentially what it is. So that's why these kind of videos of like dudes putting women in their place is so exciting for these guys, and they love it and they get really excited, like, fuck yeah, these is because they feel a sense of injustice, and so they champion it. But in reality, you're not making the world a better place. Essentially, all you're really doing is just propagating more bad behavior, even if it means championing a sex trafficker. and a felon and a dude who does stalking and all these other bad behaviors. Like, you're gonna champion this right now, but I promise you, you're gonna stop championing it when it's one of the women in your lives, when it's your sister, your mother, your one of your exes, your daughter, whatever. You're gonna wish that you had done more to stop dudes like this from being everywhere and stop encouraging them. Because all you're doing is helping other ladies be victimized. That's essentially what it is. But you may not even care about that because maybe you feel so much resentment. You're like, they probably deserve it.
My girl, my sister could never, never bring someone like that. I mean, not me thinking, oh no, you know, I don't see nothing wrong.
No,
hell no,
hell no. Why am I defending these pieces of shit?
And when you have evidence, you stay defending them.
And they want to say women are not logical.
You really want to hold.
But you recognize a lot of these dudes is also bitch made. They're also emotional. They're emotionally tied to this situation. Yeah. So I don't want.
I believe Abba and Preach are emotionally tied to this situation too. They're just on a different side of it. And I'm gonna let them continue on.
I want to hear no more about women are the emotional sex. From the vast majority of behavior I've seen online, men are hyper emotional with vast majority of the things that they support, and it's not logical why they do it.
Everybody's emotional is just for different things.
Yep. Yeah. It's like when Myron be screaming
again.
It's not anger, it's passion. Man, shut the fuck up. Y'all some goofies. Y'all support some goofies, and it just is what it is. But at the end of the day, why did we know in 2 minutes what it took y'all 2 to 3 weeks to figure out? What are y'all missing here? I'm just asking. Shut the fuck up.
All I know is they need to get those floors replaced because there's a lot of creaking in those floors. Because I know Abba is not that heavy to be causing all that noise. I mean, I know that it has to be wooden floors, sound like wooden floors, but get that shit replaced, bro. Anyways, guys, that's all for right now. I'm going to leave a link to Abba and Preach's video in the description below. Also, I'm going to try to leave Daphne's, the Queen of Accountability's link below too, so you can also check out her video, the stream that she did, and the reason I'm doing that is so that you guys can have a fair perspective on things. I'm also going to be dropping kites, like I said before. They're linked below, and you can make the judgment call yourself. But I think anyone who's being balanced, they're going to look at this and they're going to say, okay, you know what? He's not perfect by any means of the imagination. But he does not deserve to be crucified, because like I said before, and I stand on this, is that this is nothing more than a public lynching of a black man. That's all this is. If this very same thing was happening to a woman, I will stand up for her also. It's not about, for me, it's not about battle of the sexes. It's about what is right, what is wrong. And honestly, what they're doing right now with Abba and Preach, MTR, Queen of Accountability, O'Shea Duke, and others are doing, it's wrong. It's cancel culture and it's not right. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, and yeah, on your way out the door, hit that notification bell. And yeah, I'm out. Peace.
Flawless victory.